All right. Give it a second to start working. Be trying this drink out real quick. Be a short, very, very short stream on that thing, but picked it up a while ago and wanted to drink it, so here we are. All right. Yeah, this is Arizona blueberry white tea with natural flavors. It's 22 ounces. I think at the specific place I went, this was 80 cents maybe. So a good value for the size at least. It does have sugar in it, quite a bit actually, but it is a big can, so nice branding. Some blueberries on there. I don't know, are these blueberry flowers? I don't know. Probably. Not really sure what white tea specifically is. It's probably at a certain point in the tea process of processing tea. There's a white tea. I forgot that I'm doing a vertical stream here, so. So we're here. It's probably good. Right there. Yeah. It says young tea, minimally processed leaves. Really dried with no additional processing. Very close to the natural state of the tea plant. Alright. Sorry, no, this is not quite in frame here. Other sources use it as from the buds or immature tea leaves picked shortly before the buds have fully opened. Yeah, so I guess there's no very specific definition of this one. But likely minimally processed. All right. Caffeine content of white tea. It's probably lower than the other ones. So if you are sensitive to caffeine, I mean, it's still going to be in there, but you could at least, you know, not be as concerned, I guess. Oh, gotta fix something here. All right. Here we go. To the wide variability of caffeine content. Less than 10 to over 50. Okay. Well, I mean, if you look at the other ones, it's not really different. Sorry. to blow my nose. All right. And then also we can take a look at I think this is their website. No. That is not. Yeah, it's weird how the official website never comes up on top. Here we go. They've got merch. There it is. Let's see. I have the big can. Fused with antioxidant-rich blueberries and pears. The blueberry tea features juicy, sweet flavor, vitamins A, C, and E, selenium, and add nutritional value in every sip. Okay. Ingredients: premium brewed white teas using filtered water, high fructose corn syrup. Ooh, yeah, boy. Glucose fructose syrup, pear juice, blueberry juice, honey, natural flavor, citric acid, ascorbic acid, fruit and vegetable juice for color. So this is not using artificial color. Panic ginseng root extract, vitamin E, vitamin A, sodium selenate. I don't know what that is. Guess we could look it up. It's kind of the fun of learning. Na2SeO3. This salt is a colorless solid. The pink colored, whatever that is, pentahydrate. Oh, okay, so this is selenium. Selenium is toxic in high concentrations. All right. Actually, what I could do is stream on another thing real quick. I just realized that, well, it might take a little bit more effort here. See if this phone is working. It's going to be loud. There's no way to disable the boot sound on this one phone. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Made with real fruit juice, natural, 100% natural, gluten-free. Got a 4.9. Worth it, definitely. We'll buy. Jeez, it scared me. It'll probably take a little bit of time to boot up fully. Yeah, I'm gonna go over the ingredients and stuff again. Whoops. For this other stream. Although technically they don't have the specific version that I'm drinking. I don't know if that would be a problem. Come on, phone. This was a $20 smartphone, so it's a little slow. Well, that is the nice thing about prepaid phones. Kind of, it's locked, which isn't nice, but I can still use it through Wi-Fi. Pull up the app. So it's good for what it is, at the very least, given the price. Here it is. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, I'm just going to rehash all this stuff again for the other stream. I have to avoid showing dollar amounts. This one thing other thing I stream to, it's very particular. But my Twitch terms of service, I have to be careful of mentioning specific things. All right. Oh, I need a thumbnail. Where could I put this? It's probably good. It's a very not professional picture. That doesn't work either. Get this out of the way. Might as well go. Might as well go all the way. Oh, that's bright. It's too much light. Oh well, it's gonna be a bad thumbnail, but whatever. Whatever. Come on. It's good. Man, yeah, that's a terrible picture. Hmm. I could try the different lens on this phone. Yeah. It's somehow even worse, it feels like. Hmm. Guess the background would be more interesting there. Okay, that's better, I guess. Add product. Yeah, sadly they don't have the can version on here, but they do have a bottle, like plastic bottled version. I don't know if that'll be a problem, but whatever. All right, I think that's good. Preview. Cool. Oh, there's one thing I could add as well. Get this started. Go into the full view. All right. Still waiting for video stream data. Go live. All right. Looks like it's working. It's probably going to be a relatively short stream on here, but I'll be trying this Arizona tea, blueberry white tea. So in this case, it's a really big can. Obviously, there's various versions of this tea available, but you know, I've got what I've got available, so pretty cool branding and such. I mean, obviously Arizona is very well known at this point as a value brand, but they still have a pretty big variety of options. So this blueberry one, I don't know if I've tried this yet, but here we go. So the specific version is 22 fluid ounces, 850 or 650 milliliters. And they say 100% natural white tea. So nutrition facts will vary based on the size in this specific case. With one serving, it's 110 calories. That's 12 ounces for that serving. It has 26 grams of sugar for that 12-ounce serving. It does have vitamin A, C, E, and selenium in it. Those are additions. They're not specifically part of it. And then we can quickly look at the ingredients. Premium brewed white teas using filtered water, high fructose corn syrup, glucose fructose syrup, pear juice from concentrate, blueberry juice from concentrate, honey, natural flavors, citric acid, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, fruit and vegetable juice for color. So it's nice to see that they have no artificial colors. Panax ginseng root extract, vitamin E, vitamin A, and sodium selenate. So that's the selenium, I think. So those are all added. They're not part of the tea or anything like that. But yeah, I can pop this open and try it out. It does say no synthetic color or artificial color or artificial flavor. Okay. Got my trusty clear glass here. Obviously, depending on the cup, or I mean the can type, it's going to be different. They do sell it in plastic bottles as well. Again, it is naturally colored. A bit of a pink look to it. Looks good. Ultra zoom. Got a lot of lights shining on the glass. Yeah. Pretty nice. I like anything that doesn't have artificial colors in it. Let's do a smell test. Somewhat floral smelling. Yeah. A little sweet smelling, if that makes sense. But white tea and 2 different juices. Oh yeah, on the can it said 5% juice, and mentioned that part. So not a ton, but it is a mix of tea and water, probably. Oh, it's tea is the first part, so yeah. It does have high fructose corn syrup. If you're sensitive to that, this is not your drink. Let's try it out. Got some sweetness to it, a bit of citrus, like citric tartness to it. Let me see if I can even recognize the blueberry flavor. Yeah, I think that I noticed the pear juice more than I noticed the blueberry. But do blueberries honestly have that big of a flavor anyways? I don't know. Like if you ever eaten just regular blueberries. I'm sure some of them do if they're ripe enough. The tea itself, there was a slight bitterness towards the end from the tea, which I personally like. It adds a little bit to it, but it's very minimal. It's in this case, this tea is very light. So if you're into the flavor of tea, this is not going to be super strong for you. So when we look at the ingredients and or nutrition nutrition facts, 12 fluid ounces for 1 serving. Like I said, there's different versions of this. There's ones in the plastic bottle that are smaller. but it's probably the same serving size. So 12 fluid ounces, 110 calories. That's quite a bit, honestly. That's part of the reason I used to drink Arizona tea quite a bit when I was younger, but these days with the amount of calories, obviously they do have diet versions of some of their drinks, but then you've got the artificial sugar or sugar alternatives to consider. Yeah, this is quite a bit of calories for the drink, but in this specific case with this size of drink, it's 190 calories for the entire can. But that would be 22 ounces of drink in this case. So quite a bit. And then just for that serving again, 26 grams of sugar. I mean, it's not as bad as pop. Like if you drink a pop this size, probably be quite a bit more sugar. Sweet, a little bit tart. The tea flavor is very minimal. It's pleasant to me. Not much else to say about it. It is easy to drink. I wouldn't say that the sweetness prevents me from drinking this whole can just based on the intensity of it. But I mean, that depends. I'm American, so I'm used to sweet things. Although I personally tend to drink more unsweetened drinks. It's pretty nice. Like I said, it does include vitamin A, C, E, and selenium, which I mean that'll be up to you if that's good or bad or what have you. Yeah, let's try from the can in this case. Yeah, it's not really any different. It doesn't have carbonation, so pouring it into a glass is fine. It's not gonna make any difference in that case. Usually when I have carbonated beverages, I prefer to drink it from the can so I don't lose a ton of the carbonation. But in this case, it is not, so. Yeah, not too bad. So that was the Arizona blueberry tea, blueberry white tea with natural flavors. We can look a little bit before we end here at the Wikipedia of tea. I'm doing a vertical version of one of these streams, trying to make it readable for most people. So white tea is different than black tea and green tea, but it's all the same plant. It's just how it's processed, usually. Although in the case of white tea, there isn't really a specific definition, apparently. So there's very little international agreement on how it's defined. Some sources use the term to refer to tea that is merely dried with no additional processing. Therefore, it's very close to the natural state of the tea plant. So when you think of white tea, it could potentially have lower caffeine. Again, not be as processed. Another one says sometimes it's the buds and immature tea leaves picked shortly before the buds have fully opened. Okay. While others include tea buds that are very young, have been steamed or fired before drying. So it says what it definitely is not is that it is not rolled or oxidized. Black tea is oxidized. That's why it's darker. In spite of its name, it's a pale yellow color. In this case, this is more of a pink because they added color to it, but it's natural color. Switch back to here. Yeah, but it is a relatively light liquid. So that's fitting with the type of tea. Caffeine content, according to Wikipedia authors, it says estimates from less than 10 milligrams to over 50. So, I mean, that's a very big range. Some studies concluding that white tea tends to have less caffeine than green tea. For comparison, 8 fluid ounces of black tea can have 47. So it should be less, usually less caffeine than black tea. Green tea 29. So it might be similar to green tea, but potentially less. I don't think that Arizona mentions a specific amount of caffeine in here on the can, sadly. So it's probably not a requirement. No, I don't see that. But if you are sensitive to caffeine, it's going to be in here. Just so you know. All right. Yeah. Pretty cool. All right. Let's do a little taste test again, and then I'll call it. It's very easy to drink. Again, it's got a bit of the tartness. The tea isn't super prominent. The juice is noticeable, but I notice more pear than I notice blueberry. But maybe I just don't remember what an actual blueberry tastes like. Yeah. My main downside is the amount of sugar. It's quite a bit of sugar. But that's basically what Arizona does, is they tend to have, I mean, it's not comparatively, juices and pop are going to have more sugar usually. So that's at least a benefit of this. In comparison, it does have the high fructose corn syrup, glucose fructose syrup, which is another potential downside if you're not into that. Want to avoid it. Yeah. But overall, I think it's pretty nice. That was the Arizona Blueberry White Tea. So I'm going to sign out. Hopefully, I'll sign out of one of my streams. But yeah. So yeah. There we go. All right. Cool. Make sure that's fully done. I need to do that more often with that specific thing, because I can get commissions from viewers if they buy something. Although I'm not sure how the Amazon Live stuff works. Might be a little bit different than the regular videos. I'm also going to sign out of the other stream. You know, if you see that after the fact, it's going to be very janky. But yeah.